A brand new mode is coming to My Hero Ultra Impact. It is a highly requested one amongst players. It is guilds, or rather Global officially calls it clubs or club. JP calls it circle. The data calls it guilds. It's just essentially guilds. I'm just going to refer to it probably amongst all three of those names. So if I keep saying club, circle, guild, whichever one of those three, it's essentially the same thing. But it is a new mode that was added after the maintenance, after the app update recently on My Hero Ultra Impact. Let's dive into all of the new information regarding this mode and what it entails for players. Also, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys go down there, click that red subscribe button, make sure it says subscribed, click that bell, turn on all those notifications, send on any future videos, drop a like down below, and comment what do you think about the new guild club circle feature in My Hero Ultra Impact. So yes, after the maintenance, they actually extended maintenance a few times during that, which, just to throw this out there right now, in my opinion, the reason maintenance was extended so many times is probably there was either a problem server side with anything on My Hero Ultra Impact, or maybe that clubs kept having an issue or something server side with clubs was maybe potentially going wrong. So they extended it, trying to fix it, and ultimately, as of right now, clubs is not actually available in game. It is my understanding that clubs was supposed to be a feature that was accessible after the maintenance right away once the game went live. However, that was not the case. And currently in the data, actually, clubs isn't going to actually be available until 2024, according to that, but that can be updated at any time. And we'll go over that kind of stuff here in the video as we go along. But clubs was supposed to be available, in my opinion, at the launch of the maintenance, after launch of the game, after maintenance was over. However, it was not. But we do have some information regarding clubs, what it entails, and all that sort of stuff. So we're going to go over all of that here. This is the icon for it. Now, where clubs is actually going to go is actually where the trust feature went, in that bar on the home screen. So it's going to go over on that side. So it's not going to be like you go to the quests or whatever, and it's not in your friends list, it's not an arena or whatever. It's its own little icon where the trust icon and missions and all that stuff is on the home screen. So that's where that's going to be going. I did say in this post that there was no English asset. However, I was correct. They did add the English asset in the data download after the maintenance was over. So there is an English version of this, but this is what the icon is going to look like. And just pretend that this says club right here where the English one is. So that's what that's going to do. But this is the icon for it. Let's go ahead and break it down what clubs are. And as I said in this post here, this is all on the subreddit, by the way. If you want to join the subreddit, link to it down in the description down below. I want to give the Reddit a little bit of love here. I do post all of this stuff also in the Discord server as well. All the links can be found in the description down below, but I do post all of that stuff on the Reddit, in the Discord, as well as on my Hero Ultra Impact Twitter account. So make sure you guys go follow all that stuff. But clubs, the new mode, aka guilds or circles, whatever you want to call it, it's actually not available at the time that the game is up right now. It's not actually live. A lot of theory is that clubs is going to go live when Dabi goes live. Clubs is going to go live in 24 and 24, according to the data. It's a lot of different kind of speculation on when clubs is actually going to be active. We don't actually know. Actually, you can kind of see the actual club icon right there in English. There you go. So it does say clubs. So I am still looking into this, and I do have an update post that we're going to go over after this section here. But I was backtracking the club missions to update the missions on the website, which actually, there are missions on the website that are already updated. So all the club missions are actually active in game, even though you can't actually access them, because the club missions themselves are inside the club feature. They're not in the normal missions tab or the mission pop-up that you see on the home screen. You actually have to go to the missions inside the clubs in order to access those missions. However, it's not active yet, so you can't actually get those missions, but the missions are live for whatever reason. But in terms of backtracking that, the function date for the clubs is valid from, or like the starting date is 2024 on the 10th, which I do believe that this is them just putting this date here just so the feature does not go live, because there is probably a potential error within the clubs or something is going wrong that they do have to fix, right? Either that or someone made an oopsie, someone put a wrong date in there and they're like oopsies, and they haven't yet fixed it yet at the time recording this video. So not actually too sure what that's all about. But in my opinion, in my speculation, this date is there just to prevent it from going live until they have everything sorted to when we could potentially get a new data download, adding more data, adding more things that are actually useful for clubs or needed for clubs to be used. So again, that's probably just there as a placeholder to keep it inactive for the time being until they actually finish updating it and get it working properly, if that is the case. right? So normally the valid from date, whenever something like Climax was added, this is also in the same area in the data as Climax Battle and all these other features as well. Whenever Climax Battle was added, they used like 1970 January something something as the date, which is actually in Unix timecode 0, which means it's just going to go live instantly whenever you use the timecode of 0. Whenever you have stuff like this is going to go live in 2024 apparently. So if the feature actually goes live in 2024, that's going to be disappointing. But they added all of the stuff here in the data download, as you can see, like all the infographics and stuff like that are there. However, again, it's just not actually active. Again, my official opinion is that either it's an oopsie or it's not ready yet and something was wrong, hence why the extended maintenance happened, right? So we'll figure that out and we'll keep going, right? So we have the new clubs feature added. That's in the data downloads. Chat with friends. Yes, there is a chat feature available. So here we go. We have the new clubs feature, adds more social fun, aim to be the top club. At the time of recording this video, there is no like official like top tier club leaderboard, like a global ranking of clubs or guilds. So there's none of that yet. There may be added when the clubs is ready. So maybe that's something they're working on. Maybe that's something they're working on adding and stuff like that. So I'm not actually sure, but there is no like big global leaderboard for like the top club, like who's got the most points, who's got the most members and all this sort of good stuff, right? So there is that. So you'll have features like member chat. So you can see right here, there is a like live chat here where you can type and also send little stamps. We'll go over the stamps as well. So keep an eye out for Club Pass, where you and other club members can work together to get amazing rewards. Now, Club Pass is not something we are 100% sure of at this time. Club Pass could mean a paid thing. I don't think that is the case because of the way the icon looks. Reminds me of VE Tower and the challenges for VE Tower. So we're going to go over that here in a second, but just keep that in mind. I don't think it's actually paid, but either way, there is that. So you can actually boost your club's level by completing special missions. As there you go, there is the missions tab that is in game, and in this image here you can kind of see like this is the club space. Actually it has its own space, got clubs. I believe like the members should be in there. It's got a menu and then a chat function, so you have those two. Nothing really else going on that you can kind of see inside here, right? So again, you got the menu stuff, so there is that. Also there's I don't know if that's a refresh or a flip. I don't know what that's for, so we'll have to wait and see what that does. But again, you can boost your club's level by completing missions. The maximum club level is 20, and it takes 99,000 experience to reach level 20. So, and also their max club members. So the max amount of members you can have in your club is 30. So there is that. So all members of the club work together, increase the club's rank. Again, there's no club leaderboard, that like global ranking or anything like that at this current time. So things that people can see that you're doing, like, you know, if you awaken a character, unlock all of the basic route, peace route, DX peace route, awaken a character, get an item, trust level at X level, stuff like these are things that people can see in the you know, member what's going on, like who's done what kind of thing. Those are the only things currently that are there right now. So you can get missions to complete rewards. Like, I mean, obviously, again, it has the mission section that's only available inside the club area. You get gems, you get some silver tickets, it seems, and you get some stamina, and you got dailies, ongoing, and special versions of those missions. So there's a lot of different types of missions that can be coming out for that. And completing the mission does give you club rank. So as you can see here, collect your points, and then you have the club level 1 to 20, 500, blah, blah, blah. So all of the members, by the way, all of you collectively, like combined, go towards the club rank or club level. I'm gonna get myself tongue-tied a lot in this video because I keep saying club a lot, but just saying all of you together combined helps you level up your club. So it's not just you one person doing it, it's everybody doing it. So all of you, you know, basically have the ability to level it up. So here you go, here's the chat function. Have, you know, chat and stuff like that. You have chat, you can report, I guess, or report, no, sorry. The report feature is where this stuff is, like what people are doing who are a part of your club. Like if you got an item, unlock a character, awaken a character, blah, 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 all that stuff that can be seen in the report section of the chat. The chat function is just there to talk amongst people, which is cool. Again, this may be a reason why it got delayed, because maybe this was bugging out or something for them. Again, not entirely sure. And there are stamps, which stamps are kind of, I guess, like stickers or something like that, if you want to call it that. But the stamps and such are little collectibles that you can get within doing like club missions and whatnot. There's a few of them available currently in the assets, so I'll go over those here in a minute. But again, those are some of the things that you can get as part of missions as well. And here we have the club pass. Now, the reason I don't think this is paid is because look at this bar here, like this boom, boom, boom little, you know, like, I can't remember the term for this, but you know, the progress bar, I'm just gonna call it. The progress bar for like all this stuff. It reminds me of the VE Tower challenge missions. So that's mainly what I think it's for, to where all of you collectively are going to be like doing the club pass together, or maybe it's like individual club passes that like combine together for experience towards the club, like maybe some harder missions or some harder tasks for you to do within the club that are not a part of regular missions, or maybe they are just missions and it just goes towards club pass. Whatever the case may be, this right here reminds me specifically of the VE Tower challenge mission. If you know what I'm talking about, you'll always see this at like the top or the bottom. It also is available on the character, like the special character awakening section, where you like picked a character and you could do all the missions for that specific character and you got pieces and whatnot. So it reminds me of that. That's why I don't think it's going to be paid at all. If it is paid, I can, if I'm not saying it is, because I can't find anything that says that it's paid at all within the data anywhere. So I can't find that. If by any means it is paid, it will probably, I can imagine like $5, $4.99, probably my best guess if it's paid, but I don't think it will be. So you can create your own club. It costs nothing to create a club. You can join someone else's club. Like you can find it in like a search function there. You can search by IDs for the club and stuff like that. So you can join one if you do not wish to create one. Also, when it comes to creating clubs, if you leave a club, you cannot rejoin or create a new one for 24 hours after that. So you have to wait 24 hours, which again, if it costs nothing, 24 hours, I mean, it's fine. You know, you wait a day, you'd be fine. You don't have to join right away, right? So there is that. Again, yeah, I did say if you leave a club, you cannot join or create one within 24 hours. And here you have the report. Like I said, you know, you got, he summoned My Hero Ultra Impact. He summoned Izuku Midoriya. He got Mirio, got blah, blah, blah. So it does show characters that you summoned. And then also you can send people likes and stuff like that as well. So you can be like, oh, cool, good job, right? It shows everybody that what they're doing. And then here you have the home screen of what the club looks like, a little bit more zoomed in. Again, 30 members specifically, missions down here, menu here, chat here. It's not a lot of different things. It's not like super like different, like it's not like it's not, what is the term I'm looking for? It's not a lot of things being added. It's like super basic level guild type of thing. It's not super intricate. It's not super complicated. It's on surface level. It's pretty basic. So there is that. When you create a club, you can, I know it's a bit blurry, but you can create a club that has the vibe, or I guess like, you know, it's free, open to everybody, relaxed, beginners welcome, or hardcore type of vibe in terms of that. You can set the open to anyone or approver only, so you can approve who joins your clubs. As you can see here, there's the typed out versions. Then also there are club colors, which there are plenty of colors to actually choose from. I believe there's 18 of them, if I'm not mistaken. This is also yellow, by the way. I know it looks like mustard or like brown, whatever the color may be. it's supposed to be yellow, by the way, so there's that. So you can choose your club name. I'm not sure if there's like, if a club name already exists, you can't create it type of thing. So I don't know if that's a thing yet, but I can imagine that could be one, just to let you know. But club name, that exists. So you can put your club name, you can put a bio here. And obviously never put your personal information in the club bio, clearly. I don't know why you would. But you can set a bio for it. I don't think the characters are very long, so I'm sure it's probably like less than 160 characters or something like that. If you can have a long bio, that's insane. But club name there. So there is the leader of the club, or basically the creator of the club. And then a leader can set a sub-leader, or I guess like, you know, like a co-leader in a way for the club and stuff. I don't know if you can set multiple, but it seems like you can only set one sub-leader, so that's about it. So here you can see that the search function for a club, you can see recommended, in progress. You can search, and you can search by ID. You can see like the vibe, what it's open to. You can see the info for the club, kind of read it. Welcome, look at the bio, the name, We Villains, Deku Love, 1A member. And then you get the join button if it's free, or you can, I guess, apply to join a club for approval. And again, you can see the club search by club ID here. And if you kind of look over here, you can see the club ID down below. If you look at the club information here, and then you can join by the ID if you have it, or if someone, you know, if you're like in a Discord server with your friends and whatnot, then you can, obviously send that ID to all of that. So that's kind of all of the information currently that we have about clubs at this time in regards to assets and whatnot, and what it actually shows that we can do within them. Again, it is pretty basic level, but I mean, it's still a relatively good feature. I mean, a lot of missions where you get gold, you can get stamina and all that sort of stuff. So I mean, that's always good. Lots more stamina, more gems, more tickets, all that kind of stuff. And stuff to where you can actually, help your friends out and, help everybody do that. And it's just really cool. So again, I think this is a great foundation for what guilds can be for this game. And I think that this is a perfect starting level for it. I don't think it needs to be super complicated at all. But in terms of that, let's go ahead and go towards my update here. So this image here is in the game. This image is what I always call like a teaser image. If you know what I'm talking about, when you log into the game, when you go past the title screen and when you go to the home screen from when you first log in, I guess I think it's for the day. When you first log in for the day, or when you log in period, and you go into the home screen, you always have those little pop-up images, like, has this, or like the next climax battle teaser, or like fantasy Ochako Kirishima right here. Like you can see like the big image right there in front of you. You have to hit the side button to kind of exit out of that. These images, I guess, are called appeal images. I call them teaser images because they kind of are. But this image is in the game. However, this image is nowhere in the data at all. So yeah, like I searched by its actual resource name, which actually is where it's searched at, uses the resource name, but it's nowhere to be found. So it has no ID image. It has no schedule ID as well. So this isn't actually scheduled to go up at this current time. Now, again, all you have to do is update the master data, and that'll be added at whatever point in time. But that's why I'm saying this feature is not ready, and this feature isn't coming yet. So until this image specifically is set to appear in the game, most likely clubs isn't going to be available until that is the case. But I'm going to read you guys what I put here. So update. This image is an appeal image, or what I've called them teaser images. These images appear on the main screen once you enter the game. The one for clubs is in the assets. However, there is 0 data entries for this image to appear, which is shown in image 2 right here. The data generally has scheduled times for when these images appear, like, climax battle, like I said, for instance, the fantasy banners that ever pop up, all those, images, right? And there are 0 entries for scheduling for this image to appear as well. So my conclusion is, based on the information and the fact that clubs were not available upon the completion of maintenance, aka it wasn't live in game after maintenance was over, on top of the function release data, which is what I mentioned way earlier in the video in terms of 2024 being its release date, with the date in the valid from data in the functions, the function cannot be released until that date, or until they actually update that specific data point to where that date is then either now or whatever the case, right? So they have to update the date or wait till the date is actually here, basically is what I'm saying. Like climax battle, the climax battle and other functions, like I mentioned earlier as well, have been set to like 1970, blah, blah, blah. Again, it's called Unix time code or Unix timestamps or Unix epoch timestamps. Unix epoch is like a 32-bit set of numbers that goes actually by seconds. So 1970, January 1st, blah, 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 is Unix timecode 0, which means it's just going to go live immediately. However, because this one is set to 2024, this function or clubs will not go active in game until 3/10/2024 at 9 a.m. JST, or until they update the master data to actually change the date itself to where it can go live earlier. So that's probably, so my best guess is, I'm reading through this again here. So it tells me this feature is not yet ready or potentially not complete in the game data overall. So there could be even chunks of data in the data that is missing entirely. Like there are stuff that maybe they didn't add, so they just kind of like, okay, we'll just push this anyway, and so it'll be ready when we do add it later. So maybe we'll need an app update. Maybe. The only way we would need an app update though is most likely that we have all of the data in the game code already. The app update would have to fix any potential issues or add any last minute things needed. Or the most likely scenario is just we're going to get a new data download to ensure that the master data gets updated to work properly and also has everything it needs, like assets and all that kind of stuff as well. That's the data download being the only case if the APK already has all the code needed for it as well, by the way. If an APK update does happen or an app update does happen, that means they're adding extra data or fixing bugs related to clubs or just in general, right? So that's most likely the case if there is an app update regarding clubs. Because again, the data currently available may not be completed as it is now. So my conclusion for this feature is clubs is delayed or is simply not ready yet. This could have been a reason for the maintenance being delayed multiple times and ultimately delaying the feature to let the game go live and adding it at a later date when it is fully ready and fully optimized and such like that. So that is my conclusion for this. Again, all of these links for all of these posts on the Reddit can be found in the description down below. I also did post this in the Ultra Impact Discord server. Again, all the links in the description down below for that. But yeah, so clubs, I mean, it looks really cool. I think it's a great feature to be adding to the game. I think everyone has wanted something like this in terms of like guilds for a long time now. I think probably ever since the game came out, right? But as it is right now, based on the information I currently have seen so far for clubs, it looks really good. I mean, it sounds pretty basic, probably to some people who are like hardcore guild lovers, right? But for what it is for a mobile game, I think it's pretty good. I think it's a good feature for what it is, for what we've seen it can do based off the images I have, right? So there is that. But at the current time, we don't know when clubs is going to go active. What do you guys think? Do you guys think they delayed the maintenance multiple times because something with clubs was maybe giving them an issue? Or maybe do you think it was just like a server issue and then they fixed everything and they just said, hey, we'll just delay this feature and go live with it when everything is sorted and optimized a little better? Maybe something was going wrong, because you can't plan for every scenario. You can't plan for every situation to ever happen, because again, when you're developing for things like Android has thousands upon thousands of different types of devices out there. So they have to make like a one size fits all type of deal, right? For Android, iOS is pretty, simplistic because it has not that many different variations of phones, because, they only release like 3 phones a year. 3 or 4 phones a year roughly, but you get what I'm saying, right? Androids, there's so many different things, like you can't plan for everything. So maybe something was going wrong. Or again, like I said, maybe it was a server issue for their end. Maybe they just have to optimize the server, or maybe clean up some code, fix some code, whatever the case may be. This feature basically is most likely not ready yet, or maybe they're just not ready on their end to release it because something isn't working correctly that they need it to be. So again, obviously it's good to criticize and good to all that stuff, but again, don't give them a super hard time, because again, I can imagine that this is not a very large dev team. Even though it is Bandai, I can't imagine this is a very, very large dev team actually working on it. So again, while it is okay to criticize, I do think that them not letting clubs go live is a good thing, because again, it could have been very buggy. Something could have been breaking. They could have just let it go live and it'd be a complete mess, which thankfully they didn't do that if that was the case. But again, we'll have to wait and see. But again, clubs looks really cool. Let me know down in the comments down below what you guys think. Subscribe, leave a like, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a fantastic day.